Hi everyone, I wanted to give you this short video on mobility exercises. These will help to improve flexibility and function in your joints. So it'll help you to move better in your day-to-day and improve your performance and your strength, not only in your yoga practice, but also in your other workouts and everything you do from day to day, bending down, laying down, going from sitting to standing. Mobility in the joints is very important to our overall health. And so I wanted to give you some great little exercises to work on that we can go through together while we're on the mat this week, and that you can incorporate into your morning routine to help all your workouts to go a little bit smoother and add a little more function into your body. So here we go. So I like to start out with the wrists, just pressing the palms together, doing some rotations. This is great for yoga, of course, warming up the joints before you get started, but also for things like weightlifting, HIIT classes, where you're coming up and down doing burpees. Try rotating the wrists toward the chest and back away, pointing the fingers up and down, just getting a nice stretch through the joints. And then you're going to come down onto your all fours into your tabletop. And we're just going to rock forward and back on the wrists. So fingers are pointed forward. And you're just making some small circles here. The bigger your circle gets, the more you're opening up those wrists. And you're also actually warming up the knees and the hip joints doing this as well. Make sure the core is staying strong. Pull that belly button in toward the spine so you're not hunching over and adding any pain to the back. Continuing with our wrist and shoulder warm up here, we're going to go ahead, turn those fingers to face outward toward either side of the mat. And give yourself a little rock side to side. So make sure you're not coming out too far over the fingers. You're just feeling a stretch up the back of the arm, through the wrist, over the hands. And then you'll go ahead, turn those fingers to face forward. Give yourself a rock forward and back. Once again, keeping that belly button tucked in toward the spine. So here we're just adding a little more motion, pressing the hips back, coming a little further forward. And then we'll turn the fingers in to face each other, rocking forward and back, or even side to side. This will help to make a big difference in your mobility in the arms in general. And finally, we're going to face those fingers away towards the body. Give yourself a very gentle rock forward and back here. You don't want to come out too far over the wrists. You just want to bring it in line and then come back just a little bit. So it's not a big motion. And then go ahead, just stretch those wrists out. We'll come into our next mobility. Rising up here into your down dog, we'll come into our hip mobility. So once you're in your down dog, go ahead, bend one knee and lift it up into the air. And just start making small circles with the knee, growing them a little bit bigger. We want to make sure we're moving from the hip, keeping that upper body nice and still. So this will also serve to improve strength in the upper body. Make sure you take it on both sides and that the weight in your hands is evenly distributed between the two hands. Try not to lean to one side or the other. Alternately, you can also do this on your knees. Sometimes we call this the dirty dog. Lifting one knee at a time and making your circles, growing them a little bit bigger as you go along, just allowing for that hip to open up. Continuing with the hips, sit back, bringing your feet onto the mat, and just let your knees rock side to side. Try to keep your tailbone down on the ground, rocking the knees as far as feels good for you. You just want to stretch out that lower back and release out the hips. Moving into our knee and ankle mobility, come kneeling on the mat into your low lunge. And I just want you to press into that front foot and then extend the leg straight back again. This is great mobility for the knee and ankles, but also for the hip flexors, which we use a lot throughout our day. Be sure to do both sides to get an even stretch through both. Make your way up on your feet and come into a medium to low squat, just shifting your weight down between each leg, bending one knee at a time. You can come down as low as feels good or keep it up high. This is great for releasing out all the lower body joints. Don't be afraid to put some good motion in there. As you can see, I usually just start out high with this one, and as I loosen up and warm up, just make my way down a little lower, all the way to wherever your natural stopping point is today. Finally coming to the neck, just rolling one ear to each shoulder, and then the chin to the chest, and then opening up to roll your head back. So when you're coming back, we're just stretching the front of the neck. We don't want to close down the back of the neck completely and cut off the flow of blood there. So coming to shoulder mobility, just extend the arms. We're going to move the arms forward and back. So you should be feeling the shoulder blades pressing together behind you as you press the arms back, and then spreading apart as you come forward. Your chest will press in and out, moving with the motion. Just make this as big or small as you like. Make your way into your tabletop, and we'll start with some puppy rotations here. So you're just slowly pushing back through the hands, bringing the forearms down to the ground, and then circling your way back up again. So you notice I'm keeping my hips high here as I come through my rotations. This is great for strengthening the back of the arms, for shoulder mobility, and you're even getting motion throughout the spine, hips, and knees. So it's a good all-over warm-up to start before your workout. And our final mobility exercise, you'll just come to the wall, extend the arm out to shoulder height, and then you're just going to turn to face away from it, pressing that shoulder open on the wall, turning your hip into the wall. So this will be great to open up the shoulder with a passive stretch. Make sure you do both sides and hold each for about 15 seconds.